Well, everyone, it's that time again where we talk about some of the best reading materials I found over this past month and explain to you why you should check these out. Let's begin. Hey everyone, I hope you're well, playing and or making the games that you love. You're joining me, your host, Max Pears. I hope you're all well, and thank you all very much for joining me. I do apologise for a couple of reasons. First up is one, this episode comes out later than the usual scheduled one. I am really sorry. I tried to get some stuff sorted on my laptop because for most of you who don't know, I'm currently away and in between travels. You've catch me at the time of this recording a couple of days after game dev camp. I'm heading off to 4C tomorrow, and then the week after that I head over to the Netherlands to give a talk at a school as well. So it's quite a busy one. So I apologise for the schedule. It's been a bit crazy on my part. I am really sorry, but I'm trying to make sure that I keep things going so I don't think we miss anything. I also want to say happy Blocktober to everyone. It's an incredible event, and we'll talk more upon this later as well, but it's great to be having an interaction with all of you, blocking stuff out. I've tried to get some stuff started on my block out, but man, it's finding time, but we'll get it sorted. We will get it sorted. Also, sorry again about lack of communication. I brought my laptop with me. It's one of these new Omen ones, and Jesus Christ, I think it's just mine, so hopefully other people are having better experiences if you own one. But mine is not faring very well, and it's left me quite frustrated for the amount of money that I've paid for it. So let's see if we can get that fixed so I can get more work done on my travels, because that's the reason of me buying one. But I don't want to complain any more about this. I just want to give you a heads up and apologise for my more recent actions for late episode, and also not being able to communicate with all you people as much. So I do sincerely apologise there. But know that I am thinking about you. And when I can, I do try interact as much as I possibly can. So let's not wait anymore and go on to a few good and amazing things that we found within these ones, and ones that I really have enjoyed reading to. Let's go on to the first one, which is by one of my favourite writers I find who blogs, and I think he is an absolute incredible mind, and like I said, I'm constantly rereading his stuff. He to me is one of the best writers on design in my opinion, and I don't know if he'll ever hear an episode, but if he does, thank you very much, Travis Hofstetter. He's one of my favorites. I've recommended a couple of his articles already on the Essential Reading, so this will be another one, and this is on the art and science of pacing and sequencing combat of encounters. Now, what it's about is pretty simple. It is about how you create a compelling combat encounter. How do you set things up correctly in order for that combat encounter to be engaging? Talking about the flow, how the player first starts it to triggering to the actual combat event itself. How we're able, as designers, to help get the pacing right for this. What kind of elements do you have at your disposal in terms of enemy archetypes? These sort of things, which is imperative to when creating a design encounter, and how you should possibly have these, and what your layouts can provide in terms of options for not just you, but also for your enemies as well. Because I found one of my favorite techniques I have is when you're designing a combat encounter, try to think about how the enemy can win as well. When designing these spaces, how do you provide them that sort of winning path in a sense? Obviously don't overpower them, but providing a chance for them to win also creates these compelling encounters. So this is the first one, and one that I strongly recommend that you all do check out, because to me it is a fantastic one, a fantastic guide. There's always lots to learn. He sadly hasn't wrote a blog in a while, but to me, when he does write, and even if he doesn't, I still constantly reread his stuff, because there's a lot of knowledge to take away from his work, and I cannot recommend his work enough. So if you do enjoy that one, do check out his other writings as well. his other articles even, because they are very, very well written and also thought out articles, and I'm a huge fan of these. Now that I've got this, let's move on to the second recommendation, which is by the World of Level Design. Now, we've been following each other for a while. I've looked over a lot of this stuff, a lot of the stuff that they provide on the site. I'm a fan of them. I think they do some great stuff, and I'm surprised it's taken me this long to give them a shout out, so I do apologise, team there. They do some great stuff, and I'm a fan of the work. And this was a great one because of the time that this has come out, and it's called Blocktober, Your Quick Start Guide to Blockouts. And this is brilliant. For those of you who don't know, Blocktober is an event that was created last year by a designer over at Naughty Dog, I believe. Sorry, I've forgotten his name. It might be Matt. I sincerely apologise, and if I don't know the name, I'd rather not say, because he has done an incredible thing. And in this, people have to create a blockout, maybe just one or numerous blockouts. And in World of Level Design, they're giving you a start on what is a blockout, how do you create one, what are the tips for it, what should you provide during this time. And it's great because for those who are looking to get into level design, this is a great start. And having this as a guide, I think, is fantastic for them to provide you with some really cool stuff, which I think is amazing. It's just a great stepping stone and starting point for those who want to understand more on what is a blockout, like why is this important in the overall game development phase. And I think it's great. Honestly, I think this is a truly fantastic way to do stuff, and I'm excited that Blocktober is becoming a thing. And so for those who want to know more, please do check out this one. Again, all of these will be in the links in the description down below. This is the second article, and it's just very much worth a check out. And on the subject of Blocktober, we'll be talking about the Blocktober event with the Level Design Lobby. For those of you who want to get involved and get your work looked over by a professional as well, then please think about joining the Patreon, as this month we're having a really cool event where all the Patreons and myself are getting together and creating some small blockouts throughout this time period of October. And it's something great because it's something to share on this great month on your social network, but also a great way to build more material for your portfolio. So I strongly recommend that you join us, and I will be setting up guidelines for these sort of small tasks, and also have a great community where there's over 50 of us giving each other feedback and reviews. So it's incredible to have a great community. And if you want to join and know more, please head over to patreon.com/leveldesign. There will be a link to that in the description down below. Okay, now let's crack on to the third. I don't think I've mentioned this one before, but I do enjoy this fantastic series. Sadly, I believe this man has also stopped his videos or taken a break. It's called Game Array. I've mentioned his stuff before, and it's on making players feel with mechanics. Some of you already know how I feel about this, and how I think mechanics and story elements can come together to make something really powerful and amazing. And he's echoing a very similar feeling to this as well, and this is why I really enjoy it, because it's just an interesting way to think about it, and seeing some of the other amazing people who are designers and games that have set upon this as well, and I think it's fantastic. I think how they're doing this is it's great to see. It's great to see other people's minds on this and also their takes on it, because although it's on the same subject, they might feel different about different ways, and I think it's important for us to check that out. I think there's some really great stuff here, and I'm a huge fan of this, and yeah, it's worth checking out. Another one, again, it's a subject that's very near and dear to my heart. I think it's great checking it out, so go check that out. And then moving on to numero quattro. Why did I struggle with that? Wow, I'm embarrassed with myself for that, so I apologize for not only the lack of pronunciation, even though this smooth jazz voice has distracted you, but also just how bad and how quick I forgot quattro. What the heck? Anyway, we're going to move on to the fourth one, as I said, which is one of my favorites. For those who don't know, the Dev Game Club, episode 130, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's a bonus episode. For those of you who don't know, it's two veteran game developers breaking down their games from the past to see the impact they've had on that of the current design state of video games. And it's really cool because one of the hosts, Tim Longo, I believe, Jr., I hope I've got this one right, he was actually one of the directors on the new reboot franchise of the Tomb Raider, on the very first one. I believe it was Rise of the Tomb Raider. Is that the second one, though? It was the first one, so if I've got them mixed up, I do apologise. And it's interesting, as they've just played one of the original Tomb Raiders, to then talk about Shadow, the most recent release. And it's also great to get an intake from their experience from playing the old one, to talking about the new one, and also talking from the dev side of this new relaunch of the franchise and how that's come together, what kind of rules they've taken from, inspiration they've taken from, and how they believe the franchise has changed because of this. I think it's a cool episode. I strongly recommend checking it out. As always, they're one of my favourites to listen to, and I think this episode is just great because of the situation is about their experience after playing one, dev experience, and much more. I think it is truly a really fantastic one that's worth a read, in my opinion. I think it's really, really cool. I cannot stress that enough. So now we're going to go on the fifth and final recommendation of the episode. And that goes on to Batman Arkham Design Analysis Part 1. So this is really cool to me because it's got another really interesting thing. The writer of this, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name solely just because I'm going to butcher this one so badly, and I do not want to do that due to the lack of respect I think that would cause. But the writer of this is a senior game designer over at Ubisoft. And what I think is really interesting, and I don't think he realised this, so he started to write articles before I started to write. For those of you who don't know, I used to write articles, and I think it was only until last year I've just recently stopped. I'll get back into them later, but I decided to transition more into podcasting. And some of his work is what inspired me to write and inspired me to get better with my writing and my breakdowns. And I think it's really cool to just see how he constantly churns out these amazing articles and the depth that he goes into. So I want to give a shout out to this. Also, Batman, in my opinion, is one of the most recent franchises, which is fantastic. Asylum, in my personal opinion, is the best of the franchise, and we can debate this until high heaven. And I'm not saying you're wrong if you think the other one's better. That's completely your opinion. Just my opinion, Asylum was the creme de la creme, and I honestly think that seeing how much detail this man goes into is fantastic, and it's great. I think there's some great stuff in there, and how he's constantly doing some great stuff. So yeah, I think that's worth checking out as always. So everyone, that's gonna wrap things up in terms of my recommendation. And I just want to give a huge shout out to the game dev camp in Lisbon, Portugal, where I just was giving the talk. I want to say thank you to everyone who showed up. It was an absolute pleasure to not only meet to all the speakers, Christian, you know who you are, you madman, absolute pleasure, sir, and all these other amazing speakers who I got to hang out with and the pleasure to meet, as well as thanking the organisers of that event because they did some great work, and to everyone who helped out, and to finally all the people who attended. I got to meet some really incredible people, and I really do hope that you enjoyed my talk, as I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that I got it right. So it was great to get some good feedback and to hear back from everyone. An absolute pleasure to go there as well and to attend that event. So thank you everyone who was involved in that and just made me feel very, very welcome. And it's been an absolute pleasure to go there and have a great time. I really did enjoy myself over there. Okay, everyone, this is where it's all going to wrap up. So I hope to get an episode out next week as well. It's going to be very, very tight schedule for me because I said I fly to the Netherlands on Tuesday next week. And this event is from basically tomorrow to, Wednesday when this episode comes out till Sunday. And I'm trying to do some blocking out as well, which is obviously all go as well. So I do sincerely apologise for any kind of mess-ups with the schedule here. This is not my plan, but I'm trying to make sure that I keep delivering to you all. So thank you all for being awesome. Thank you all so much for the support. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. So make sure that you are subscribed and checking this out. If you want to keep up to more dates with what I'm doing, follow me on Twitter at MaxPairs. And if you've not already, then do check out the Patreon, where we've got some more amazing perks and amazing things for people to check out and to join this truly just incredible community. Thank you all very much, and I will catch you all next time.